Discipline is choosing between what you want now and what you want most. I think that was said by Abraham Lincoln. At least that's what ChatGPT told me. I needed a quote for motivation. Welcome to the Cheer Athlete Podcast, where we bring coaches, parents, and athletes expert tips and advice to help keep cheerleaders healthy, strong, and at the top of their game. Now let's go. Welcome to the Cheer Athlete Podcast. Today, we're going to talk about motivation and what it takes to get your young athletes to get motivated to be able to continue their out of practice workouts. When it comes to young athletes, our job is to help them figure out what they really want most and how to work for it. Because at a young age, they don't really know what they want. They know they want to be better. They want to know they should show up. They want to be with their friends. But what motivates them to actually improve as an athlete? So let's dive in. If you don't know me, I'm LT, the Cheer PT. I'm a physical therapist and a strength coach, and I help cheerleaders improve their performance and reduce injuries by teaching coaches and parents and athletes to move better. So welcome to the episode today. If you're a coach and a parent, this one's for you. I am working on a video that is actually directed for cheerleaders. That should be out very soon after this one on YouTube. And but this episode is geared towards parents and coaches. Cheerleaders, you're welcome to listen to, but know that I'm talking to your parents and coaches on this one because they're your parents and your coaches, and they have to coach you. So we're going to dive into a big challenge. Get your athletes to actually do their conditioning outside of practice. I've heard from so many of you that the excuses are endless. The kids are too tired. The exercises are boring. They feel like they're doing conditioning all the time. But the real issue is motivation. So let's talk. What is motivation? I believe motivation comes from within. And you have to be able to, you have to want that to be able to progress and move on. There's external motivation where you, as a parent or a coach, are pushing your kids to do better. Maybe you have coaches yourself or bosses, and your boss is motivating you to show up at work every day, to be on when you're at practice. Maybe your own, maybe your boss and your cheer gym is pushing you to win a championship. That's an external motivation. But how does that really affect you? That's their motivation placed on you. So internal motivation is them taking ownership. When we take ownership for ourselves, external motivation will wear off, and discipline will win in the long game. And because we don't want somebody else telling us what to do, we have to have that inner drive. We have to have that desire to do something better, to be better, to achieve a goal. I know for myself, my husband, it's not a great example, but my husband can tell me, you need to get to the gym and get out and ride and be on your bike every day and do your workouts because you'll feel better and enjoy your life much better. But if I don't have that drive to go out and get on my bike or to get to the gym and work out on my own, it's kind of a lost point. Like I have to say, I want to work out because I want to be able to hang out and hike mountains now. I want to be able to get up and down from the ground. I want to feel like I did when I was 18 years old cheering and feel strong and powerful. And I want that to last for all of my days. That's my internal motivation. And I know what I want to get out of it. And when I can revisit that and listen to my why, then it's easier for me to get to the gym or to get on my bike or to do a workout or to do more research on what I need to do to make that feel better, to eat healthy, all of the things. So real change would happen when I do the work. When your cheerleaders want it and they know that they want to make a varsity team, maybe they want to pull a different stunt. They have to want it, not just we can't expect it. We can't say to them, I want you to not have injuries when you're cheering because that's my motivation as your physical therapist. I want you not to have injuries. I want less injuries in cheer. I think cheer is an amazing sport and we get a bad rap because we have a lot of injuries. But why does that bother a cheerleader? They're just like, I'm fine. I'm 16 years old or I'm 8 years old, and I just have to get out there and do it. And I'm not worried about injuries. They have to figure out why do they want it. Maybe they don't want to miss practice because they want to go to nationals. And they know that if they miss a practice because of an injury, they risk losing their spot on the team. Great. Well, what is it going to take to reduce your risk of injury so that you don't miss practices? They resist conditioning and strength and conditioning a lot of times. Quite often, their complaints, they already do enough. They're working hard time, and they are during season. And I know all-star, y'all are in season all the time. High schoolers, you're not in season right now. It's the summertime, and man, it's hot here in Massachusetts. And I know those of you that listen around the country and are in the South, like I know the heat we have in the Northeast is not the same thing, but when it hits hard, and we're not used to it. I don't have air conditioning in my house because I haven't need it for a month. It's really hot, and I really want it. I digress. Your cheerleaders, in the summertime, it's more of a quiet time. Now's the time for them to build strength, and they are doing a lot year round, but they're not maybe doing specific. So, but they don't see that. They just see like I'm doing so much. I don't need to do more. Second complaint, maybe it's not so fun. It's boring, especially in the summer. They're not with their friends. They're not doing it together. They're not able to laugh and play. And you have to go do your workout. No kid wants to go to the gym and just do a workout under the age of 10. It's not fun. It needs to be entertaining. Maybe they say they don't have time. And I would agree. Most of us don't have time. I'm struggling myself. I've got to get this podcast recorded and then go get my workout in before I go to work. It's rough. And I will say, make it a priority first thing in the morning before you get anything done. Because when I do that, man, I feel so much better. But not having time, that's a good excuse, but it's not. It's a resistance, and it's just a way to brush off training. So what's really going on though is they don't buy in. They don't have clear goals, and maybe they feel overwhelmed because they don't really know what to do. How can we foster better internal motivation? As a coach or parent, best thing you can do is be an example. Do your own workouts, eat right, be consistent, and show your kids what consistency look like. Don't tell them to be consistent, but you be consistent yourself. Create some micro goals, both for yourself and for your athletes. What is achievable in 2 to 3 weeks? 2 to 3 weeks. What can they show as a win in that time frame? Maybe it's just that they are being consistent. Maybe they complete X amount of workouts. Set some sort of micro goal that's easy for them to achieve, and not like, oh yeah, you're going to be so strong, you're going to make a college team when you're 8 years old, or a world's team. Or if you're a world's cheerleader struggling with your own motivation, what is achievable in the short term for you? Yeah, that's your big goal, but what's it going to take to get a little stronger and have your single leg balance a little bit better, and doing the work outside? And maybe that one little goal of working on your half kneeling position so your hip gets a little stronger, and you see just that small change makes a big difference. Ask them, don't tell them. What's your goal for the next competition? What do you want to accomplish at your next competition? Don't just say winning. What do they need to do? Do they need to not be tired after their tumble pass? Do they need to hit their heel stretch? Do they need to not have their bases lifting them up? Do they need to feel confident underneath their flyer? What's their goal? And then link that to conditioning. So being more comfortable on single leg stand and a lib, they need to be comfortable on one leg down on the ground. They need to be able to transition, to be comfortable underneath, and holding base and not have back pain. They need to have better core strength and learn their body awareness. So there's different ways to incorporate that on why. And I think it's Dean Graziosi talked about the 7 layers of why. So keep asking them, what's your goal for the next competition? Why? Why do you want to have a better heel stretch? Why do you want to win this competition? Why do you want to hit your stunts and your transitions? It's hot. Then let's celebrate the effort and not just the outcome. Reinforce the habit of showing up. Give praise when they do a workout. Give praise when they, and what is praise for your kid? Like calling me out in the middle of, a big practice would embarrass me. So, but, going up and just giving me knocks and saying, way to get it done, way to show up today. It depends on what your athlete needs, but that's, celebrate their efforts and make them feel good about showing up. Make games of it. Kids don't want to go in and have a structured workout. I do create structured workouts, and I know that's hard to transition, but like make a game of it. Use challenges, use a tracker, give them points as a team, maybe points as a stunt group that if they complete so many workouts, they get a point. And don't get rid of conditioning at practice, because then that just takes away from the benefits of practice. But maybe they get a star, maybe they get to lead a warm-up one day, they get to make the next workout or make the next 8 count, whatever is going to motivate them, and that's something that they enjoy, that's proactive. For the athletes, ask them what makes you feel strong, and then build routines around that. Do you feel strong when you hit a stunt? Great. Let's build a routine and a workout that makes you feel really strong. When you're lifting something heavy, and you can lift a gallon of water, does that feel stronger? Carrying groceries, let's put some carries into our routine, because that's going to build and make you feel really strong. Remind them that showing up when it's hard is what sets them apart. That's what athletes do. They don't just show up at the time of practice and competition. They show up when it's hard, and that's what makes them strong and stand out, and they get better. Videotape them. Show them what they can do now, and then show them what they can do in 2 weeks or a month or 8 weeks, which it takes to make a good strength change. Show them their progress, and they can see that benefit as they move along. It can be with a workout, or it can be with a stunt, or a motion on the ground, whatever that might be, and show them the changes that they have. Your role as a parent or a coach is to be the guide, not to be the engine. You want to shift away from being a drill sergeant to being an accountability partner. Hey, how can I support you today? How can I get you to feel better about your workout? And just get it done, versus, did you do your workout? Why haven't you worked out? You need to get after it. No one ever wants to feel belittled with that. And admit it, your boss, when your boss does that to you, none of us like that. Like, how can I support you today? And how can I help you make it happen? Maybe, if you do, don't tell them again, if you do your workout, you won't have to do the dishes, because that takes away from the home chores that I think are very important to learn also. But hey, if we do this, we can go shopping, or hey, you get your workout done, we can get to the pool earlier, whatever that might be for your kid. If you're a coach, same thing, like, how can I help you make this more consistent for you? Maybe it's sending them a text and just saying, great job, get after it today. I know you got this. You can do a group text and just send that to the athletes, or maybe it's an email, however you communicate with your team. So I'm starting an 8-week summer program. I know it's hard in the summertime to get things done, and I think it's important for families to take vacations with their kids and to not always be in the gym. One, no one should be exercising in these crazy hot days. And I know even if you have air conditioning, like if you're in air conditioning, it's a little bit better, but you still need to hydrate and make sure that things are, you're not overworking. If you're practicing outside and your camp's outside, they need to take it easy. There's too many kids will have heart issues and pass out and all kinds of stuff if you work them too hard in the heat. But it is important during the summer to get your workouts in. And so I've got an 8-week summer cheer workout program that if your athlete needs some structure this summer, but also the space to create some independence, creating this 8-week conditioning program just for them. It's designed to build strength, power, and more importantly, discipline. There are flexibility exercises, as well as body weight and weight-based or equipment-based exercises. They can do them at home. They can do them at a gym with minimal equipment as needed. And it gives the athlete ownership of their progress and it would so give them ownership of their progress, and it will help them to stay on target. There's a way for me to help them stay accountable. So then it's not you that's harping on them, but hey, did you get your workout done? Or hey, I see you haven't actually worked out in a week. What's going on? And how can I help support you to make that better? So I'll leave a link for that in the show notes. If you're interested, or if you want more information, just reach out and I'm happy to talk about that. You can do this. As a parent, I'm here to help inspire you and to motivate you. My motivation for doing these podcasts is to provide information and to be proactive in helping you feel better, move better, and get your cheerleaders and your athletes feeling better and moving better. But your motivation, what's your motivation to help your kid? Why are you motivated? Because you don't want them to have injuries? Rightly so. As a coach, do you want them to be able to perform and so they get that nationals bid? Do you want to have them committed to showing up and being there? Know what your motivation is, and then find out what their motivation is and try to encourage them to work towards what their goals are, not your goals. Work towards what their goals are. They're not going to understand the risk of injury, but they will have ideas for what they want to do better or do more of. Maybe it's, I just want to show up and be with my friends. That's great. You want to do this? You want to be with your friends and be on the team? And you want to make the next level team so that you stay with your friends? Then you got to do the work now. Again, summertime, I think, is the best time to build strength, endurance, power, and to improve your ability to learn different stunts, and then to progress that through the fall. You still need to work out year round, but the conditioning looks a lot different. So if you need that little motivation, please dig deep as to your why and why you're encouraging your kids, and don't project your why onto them. Try to encourage them to tell you their why, and then support them, encourage them, and embrace what their why is. Once they remind them, once you remind them, like, hey, I don't want you to get, your goal is to not be injured so that you can be with your friends and be at the world's competition and have fun in Dallas or in Florida or wherever the next competition may be. And you know that you want to enjoy that. So if you're going to do that, we got to get these workouts in, and then we're going to go play and do something fun. So you don't have to think about it. Or then you're going to rest a little bit, hydrate, eat some watermelon, eat some protein, have a good, healthy snack, and let's go to practice so that, you can show what you've learned and how strong you're getting at your next practice. I hope that's helpful. It's an ongoing work in progress. I have to stop and remind myself of my why all the time, and I'm sure you do too. So get after it, go through your own why, write it down, go 7 layers deep as to why you want this goal, and then stay with that and remind yourself of that every single day. Make it a great week. Don't forget, when in doubt, breathe it out. Take life one step at a time. You can do anything you put your mind to. And as my friend Drew Kelleher said, you're responsible for your own vibes. We'll make it a cool vibe day.